3,000 people, 3,000 frontline workers are relying on Resco technology this second, this very moment, in real time. So those people are perhaps, those as you can see, are preparing your next delivery in a warehouse. Or they are checking whether there is a fresh food in the grocery stores. Or even they are making sure that we have an electricity and it's up and running. And they work with the billions of records annually. And they need to synchronize a lot of data, a lot of records, from the mobile device to the backend and back and forth. And every single second saved during the synchronization is also the second your frontline workers can spend with your customers, can fix more issues, or even close more deals. So, and these people are not located only in the Western Europe or US. They are located perhaps on the places you would never believe they exist, like in Greenland in the most extreme conditions, or even in the middle of the Indian Ocean on the island of Réunion, or even we see users using our technology in the New Caledonia doing the hotel inspection, perhaps for your next stay. So, and these people believe in Resco, and they believe Resco can move much further when it comes to the functionalities. They submit a lot of requests every single year, around 200, and myself with a team of product managers, we are assessing those kind of features, and we are doing what we can to ship them as fast as possible. If we are doing it right, we are able to deliver around the 90 features every single year. So right now, I'm going to spend with you 3 hours, and we will go through the 90 features. Okay, no, that was just a joke. Just to check whether we are sleeping or not. So what we do, we will go through the most impactful and most, perhaps, interesting for you. My name is Eduard Kesely. I'm product manager at Resco, and basically I will tell you, I will recap the most interesting features what we delivered in the last year for mobile. So let's start. So out of those 200 features, let's just do it simply. Let's classify them or categorize them into the 2 buckets. The features which are helping the frontline workers and the features helping the app makers, those people who are building the mobile projects. Let's start with those for frontline users. So first one, it's a huge productivity improvement, and it's called Lasso tool. I will tell you what it is about. Imagine that there is a frontline user or worker who needs to inspect a lot of assets or a lot of records and is using the map and need to highlight a lot of them and change the status, assign it to another person. And right now it's not possible or not so easy. The person can do it one by one, or even it's not possible to do it in some reasonable time. So we are bringing like smaller improvement with a huge impact in some situations. We are bringing the Lasso highlight tool, which is available on the map, and basically by drawing the simple circle or simple shape, you can highlight the records which need to be changed, assigned, or worked on. Second feature, redesigned settings. So current legacy settings in our mobile app, it's so long, it can be misleading, there might be a lot of information on one place, with difficulties to find what really matters for the user. What we did, we simplified that, we categorized that, we reduced the complexity of the setting for the end user because it's not needed to have all of the settings inside the mobile settings. And it looks like this. And it's saving the time to find what really matters. Next one, single card forms. Now, information on the forms can be displayed in different ways. There is also the component which we are calling the card, which is basically encapsulating the data on the form. But imagine that you would like to display the data on the form for the table of the account with a lot of data. So you are forcing the user to scroll down all the way to find what really matters. And we are, right now, what we do, we are also giving the ability and feature for the admins to expand only one section at a time, just to be more, to improve the visibility and to improve the experience of finding the relevant information. Next one, geofencing. Perhaps some of you are also using this geofencing functionality already in your field projects. It's really relevant in some of the use cases, and geofence can help a lot. For example, in a cases that the work order can be edited only when the user will enter some working site, or manager would like to get some information that the user entered the working site. We had it already, right? But it has one downside because it requires the capabilities and the functionality of the GPS. And if you can imagine, if the GPS is enabled all the time, it can have a negative effect on the battery of the mobile device. So we improved, we optimized that. Right now, it do not have a negative effect. It's only triggered when the user and where the frontline worker is entering or exiting the geo. We also are enhancing a lot of configuration options, how the geofencing can be configured. For example, setting the time when the geofencing should be enabled, or bringing more notification options there with no negative effect on the battery. The next one is related to synchronization. I admit we have heard a lot about the synchronization. Also, Maciej Wanik was telling a lot of great stuff about synchronization. One may think that synchronization is not directly contributing to the field work, right? It's kind of misleading. I wouldn't say so. Because if you have really good options how to set proper synchronization, it can be a huge advantage for the company, saving a lot of time, saving a lot of money, and doing more. So that's why it matters for us to enhance our synchronization engine and to bring more and more functionalities there. I will show you a couple of them in a second. And we are bringing as well the synchronization features which are helping frontline users to have instant data to work with to improve the speed and performance. What are those? TDS downloads or table or data stream downloads, which is basically direct connection to the dataverse, improving the speed of downloads 6 to 10%, up to the data model and up to the number of records which are being downloaded. It can be set up in the Woodford. Second one is a link type in and exist, which Maciej was going through. But let me simplify this. It's basically for the reducing of the amount of synchronized data needed. Let's imagine that you have a library with a lot of books, and you would like to find only books which includes the Spider-Man inside, right? So in normal way, you will need to go into every single book, open it, and see whether there is some mention about the Spider-Man. But with this one, it's like to having a magical label on each one of the book, which will tell you what is the content of it. So without any opening of the book, really easily, really fastly find what is really relevant and then synchronize that. Background sync, I would say that this is more fine-tuning settings for the admins, and they can also, we are providing them more options how the background sync should behave, which is bringing the balance when it comes to the data integrity. You can imagine that there can be many conflicts when some users are editing the form, and then there is a background sync syncing. So, and this functionality is also giving the admins the options to set it properly and with no kind of issues. So let's move to another bulk of features meant for the app makers who needs configuration and customization and capabilities. I will continue with the synchronization and just really briefly show you what also Maciej was showing you. One of them is a data model explorer. Basically, I will just recap that. It's a simple table, and you can see on one place all the tables which are enabled with the configuration. Sorry, it's this. Okay, so with one table, with all the tables which are enabled, all the fields used for synchronization, the configuration of the conflicts, and a lot of filtering options. Second one is relationships, so which also gives you the ability to see on the table level what are the relations with, and links with other table, either it's one-to-one or one-to-many, many-to-one, or many-to-many. And the third one is used fields, which is pretty awesome, actually. It also looks which kind of fields are used where. Also in views, in forms, which are enabled. And with one click, there is a possibility just to disable them. So they do not need to be synchronized as well, which is also increasing the speed of the downloads and the speed of the synchronization. So let's move into another bulk of features. We have seen and we have heard today really great presentations about ILM and how to deploy, how to maintain the projects. We are bringing the Azure DevOps version control in this release, which will be released in 2 weeks. What it is, we have built in Azure DevOps connector, which lets Resco projects synchronization to your pipelines and your repositories. It's pretty simple implementation. We will be more working on it. We will be focusing more on what changes has been made, to have better overview, what has been synchronized and when and by whom. But that's just the start. We wanted to have also this kind of option for the deployment and ALM management. Another pretty awesome feature, I would say, is a global constant. So what it does, it lets you set the value once in the project configuration, and when you are working with the derived projects or with the child projects, so you can refer that constant in your rules or in your JavaScript, wiping out any kind of repetitive tasks for editing every single derived project, and just by using this global constant. Another one. AI. I would say that we haven't had too much about AI, so I also wanted to put into my presentation AI. Everybody has it. So AI is a thing, and also we admit it as a Resco. We have been playing with AI for already 2 years and finding the best use cases where we can implement that, what can bring the best value. By the way, this is the new icon. When you see this icon in our products, you can be sure that this is powered and fueled by the AI, our implementation. And we started last year by infusing some AI into our functionalities, and we are starting with the Woodford. So you can imagine this implementation as a simple, well-known chat experience on the right side, and whoever is playing and whoever is making the project and configuring that, and having some doubts or questions, for example, about the synchronization, about the styles, about the tables, about the whatever it is, you can ask the AI assistant directly embedded in the Woodford, and it will provide you the answer. And this AI assistant is also fueled and also have the knowledge from the Resco, also have the knowledge from the Wikipedia, Resco Wiki, Resco Academy, and it's up to date, it's maintained. And it can save tons of time for finding proper information. The next one is the AI Sync Filter Assistant. So Matthew was showing how to build the XML fetches. We wanted to improve it by using this. What it is, when somebody would like to write the sync filter, we also embedded there the AI assistant, the tool, and which will pop up this chatter window. And the first feature is that when there is already defined some kind of rule, it can tell you what it does in the simple language, but this is just the simple rule, so just not to complicate it. And by texting, by natural text, it will help you to convert this request into the editable XML. And you can review that, you can enhance this. When you see that there are some issues, you have an XML which is prepared, and then you can use it directly inside the project. So, and that's not all when it comes to the AI. We are still focusing on many features, how we can implement AI and where we can implement AI. We would like to continue with the rules because we are aware that the rules are really important for you, and that's the experience we would like to simplify as well. And that's not only the case that's not only the area that maker tools what is our focus, but also we would like to focus on the frontline workers' experience and embed AI directly into the mobile. Right? We already had some kind of prototypes inside. But let me be clear, right now, the market is not prepared for it. We can do a lot of prototypes, but we cannot embed fully functioning and a fully operational LLM model on the device, which will be production ready. So it will take a little bit more time, but for us, also providing offline AI is a thing we are also looking at. Okay. We are moving closer to the Power Platform with this one, right? If you can read that, probably you have the impression what it does. It's like we are providing the conversion tool for the model-driven application into the Woodford. So imagine that companies are already having the model-driven applications, which they are built, they are working, providing to the customers or to the employees. And perhaps there are some reason that company will identify that Resco can be more suitable. So why to rebuild from the scratch the new project in Resco when the existing solution can be converted in the Resco from the model-driven application? So what we can do, we can read the configuration of the model-driven app, and we are able to convert the menus. On the left side, you can see model-driven application, and on the right side, it's a Resco. We can also convert all the views. We can convert the forms, also the associated lists on the forms, charts. What is a little bit tricky, it's the business logic. This is something what we are also playing with, trying to look at what we can do there. And let me show you the demo, how it looks like actually. There is a new icon, import Power Application, directly embedded into the Woodford. It will load all the model-driven applications which are existing in your environment. You can select even what you would like to convert and import into the Woodford projects, whether it's menu items, whether it's views or forms, and it will start the importing. It do not take a long time. And you can name the application in the Woodford. You can assign the priorities. You can assign the roles, which users or who can use that. And basically, that's it. You have a project imported. You can work with. It's like a blueprint. You can enhance it for the mobile usage. You can set up the synchronization rules. But as you can see, it took me like less than 1 hour, or less than 1 minute just to convert it, and there is no need to build it from the scratch. Okay, another tool what we have invested into, it's View Designer. Why View Designer? Views are one of the main components of any single business application. Basic purpose of the view is just to, show the records of the selected entity. It can look like this, or even Steven, he was showing pretty awesome view. And we have also enhanced our View Designer to basically just to simplify how it is being designed and to be more intuitive. I will show you just some features within the View Designer. Before that, there was only possibility to edit one row in a time. But we had a lot of feedback. Why only one? We would like to see all of them, right? So right now, you can edit all the rows in a view, and you can also do the visual comparison, and all those kind of options and properties are easily accessible. Second one is a grid layout. So we also would like to provide the simple option to turn the list into the grid or this image gallery to display, for example, your products or real estates or anything, any kind of records, and also with auto-adapting columns. And there is much more. But as I said, I do not want to be with you 3 hours. So maybe tomorrow, if you have a later flight. And there is much more which can be reused and which can help you to define and design views better way. So that's not all. We are doing like quarterly product webinars. You can learn more about the new features. And we are here to build these features for you, basically to work easier, move faster, and win more with us. Thank you.